So is it possible to prevent a puppy from getting pregnant? I'm not sure, but I've got something here today that I think might help me. It's a dog chastity belt. Yes, Toby dog, you heard me right. A doggy chastity belt. You guys don't even want to see my internet search history right about now. So as a lot of you guys know, we have two dogs here on our farm. We have Toby dog, our adult male and intact livestock guardian dog. And we also recently acquired a female livestock guardian puppy by the name of Lady Abington de Mimsy Porpington, Duchess of Shawmead, or as we like to call her, Abby dog for short. Hey Abby girl, how you doing? And at this point, Abby is about 5.5 months old, and so she's at risk of starting to go into heat. For those of you guys who are not familiar with dog reproduction, dogs go into heat a couple of times a year, and that's when the female dog attracts the male dog and is liable to get pregnant.
Here I goes prego.
And while someday I might try to breed Toby and Abby together, at present, I really don't want that to happen. In fact, breeding Abby right now would be a very bad thing. Number one, she's just too young. Her body hasn't fully developed, and so I wouldn't want to put the stress and strain of a pregnancy on her at this young age. And then number two, I'm not even sure if I am gonna breed her. I still have to do some genetic testing with her. I still have to screen her for hip dysplasia and elbow dysplasia. And those screenings aren't something that can happen until she reaches about 2 years of age. Yeah, sorry girl. So I found myself trapped in this precarious position of, now that she's almost 6 months old, she's gonna start having a heat very soon. But at the same time, I don't wanna get her fixed because I might breed her someday. So how do I keep her from getting pregnant? You know, she has actually this separate kennel and run that has a gate, and it actually keeps her inside and it can keep Toby dog out. You know, as I'm training her to work around the farm, this kennel keeps her from having unsupervised access to the birds. It also keeps the barn cats from getting into her food. And if I needed it to be, I could use this kennel as a way to separate Abby and Toby from each other. I know, Toby dog, you have free reign of this farm, so you're not used to getting locked out of certain places. But I know if I want to prevent Abby from getting pregnant, I can't just rely on this kennel alone. Number one, a determined Toby or Abby could easily try to dig underneath this kennel and try to get in that way. And then number two, without getting too graphic, a very determined Toby dog could potentially do the deed through the fence. You may laugh, but I have heard stories of things like that happening before. So like I said earlier, that's what led me down the path of discovering a doggy chastity belt. I got to admit, I was kind of surprised to see that doggy chastity belts were even a thing. But they are, and ours just arrived, and so we're gonna fit it on Abby here and see how it works. And so when it showed up at my doorstep, it was basically this bag with the harness inside of it, as well as this nice old school brochure. Apparently this is called POBS, Prevents Unwanted Accidental Breeding. Ironically, POBS is also the nickname of Pablo Barncat. What do you think of this, buddy? So as they say in the brochure, it's a modern chastity belt. You strap it onto the dog, almost kind of like a harness, and it blocks their, I guess, vulva. But at the same time, the dog can still go to the bathroom. So it looks pretty straightforward, so let's give it the old Harvard try. Molly, you're kind of curious, but you're fixed. Yeah, well, we might be potentially breeding our dogs. We strongly believe in getting our barn cats all fixed. Very soon after Molly Murder Mittens showed up at our farm, we got her fixed. And then when her daughter, Ginny, was about 5, maybe 6 months old, we got her fixed as well. What do you think, Abby? Looks actually a little more complicated than I was expecting. It actually has this very nice houndstooth design pattern on it, so I guess it's visually appealing. This part goes around her neck. This part goes around her waist, I think. I guess this is where the brochure comes in handy. By the way, in full disclosure, this is not an advertisement. POBS did not sponsor this video. I actually bought this thing with farm money. This is just simply me trying something out and figuring out how to use it. Come on, Abigail. Need your help. She just took one look at this thing and did not want anything to do with it. Okay, Abby, we're gonna try this out. I know, you don't like this at all. I'm not sure I like it either. It kind of reminds me of building IKEA furniture, but with a real live dog. All right, Abby, let's try this again. Come on. You're being so good by being on your back, but it's making it hard to do this right. Oh no, Abby, you kicked out of it again. I'm thoroughly confused by this thing.
You're confused, I'm confused, bro.
I spent so much time training Abby to sit when I tell her to. Now it's making it very hard to get this on her. I wish the fabric was color coded so you knew which was the front and which was the back side. Oh, Abby. Maybe I shouldn't have unbuckled everything. So what I'm finding so frustrating about this thing is there are a lot of buckles and a lot of straps. None of them are color coded or numbered, and so they all look the same, and so it's so easy to get it all twisted, which is kind of the problem I've got right now. I don't know if you guys can see that, but Jimi Hendrix, our little bull calf, has been running around like crazy. He loves to run. Abby has become fascinated with watching him run. It's gonna be interesting when I get these guys back out on the grass. Yeah, I gotta work with training on Abby on that too. You know, Ginny, all these youngins on here, they need to learn. All right, Abby, let's try this again. Wait, what? Why is this so confusing? All right, Abby, we're gonna try distracting you with a little bit of food. Let's see if you're gonna let me get this on you while you eat. Ginny, don't be a jerk. All right, now I got it on. I just gotta do some fine tuning here, Abby, to make sure it's nice and snug, especially down below here. Seems like she's gonna be able to poop okay. Well, it only took me about 35 minutes to do, but I finally got the doggy chastity belt on Abby. You know, Abs, that was a very complicated process, I must say. You did a good job, though, once you adjusted to it. As far as the look on it, I don't know, it looks pretty good. I can see how it's effective. It seems very complicated. Abby, do you have any initial reactions? I'm very curious to see if you're able to go to the bathroom or not. Ginny, get out of there. You're learning some bad Pablo habits. All right, my birds are about to riot because I'm way late in getting them out now. So let's test this thing out and see how she does. Abby's not the only animal here on the farm who's got a special harness system that I'm gonna try out. I've actually constructed an improvement to the ever popular barn cat cam in that I built a harness that can actually hold the camera here. All right, let's try this on you. I tested it out on Lil Barn Cat last night. She seemed to do okay with it. So I'm gonna guess that Ginny does pretty well with it as well. Abby, you already had your time to get a harness on. Now it's the cat turn. See, it's got this pretty cool little front side camera. So my thinking is that it actually gives you a better image when she's running around. Hang on, Jimmy. I don't have the camera on you yet. Okay, there, it's clicked in place. Molly's checking it out, seeing if she approves of her daughter wearing it.
All around me are familiar faces.
We'll check back in with Barn Cat Cam in a little bit. Now let's go let out the birds. Hey, you chickens, get out of here. Out, out, out. Come on, chickens. Out, out, out. Come on, chickens, get out. If I don't leave this door closed when the birds are out, they will try to get in here. They love it in here for some reason. Hey, gal. What's going on? I know, I had you inside here for a little bit of an experiment. When I checked in on you earlier, you were sitting on your nest, but now it looks like you want to get up and get something to eat. That's cool. You guys will probably see this in a full video in not too distant future, but I'm working on hatching out some goslings naturally. So stay tuned for that video. Here, we'll keep this pen open during the day. I locked her up at night just so she wouldn't have any trouble with Abby, trying to play with her. You know, Abby's still learning. She is just a baby. Look at my two harness animals. Got Abby and Ginny. Release the Kraken! Oh man, you ducks laid so many eggs by the door, we just had a disaster. Yeah, they definitely wanted to get out this morning. And yeah, they made some dog food here. Come on, Abby, you get a special treat because you were such a good girl. Good girl, Abby. That's a good girl. Good job, Toby. That's a good boy. So you guys might be wondering if it's okay to have the dogs eating near chickens like that. And actually, it's part of their training. You know, what I want to see is them being comfortable to eat around the chickens and even push the chickens away if they need to, but also not get aggressive with the chickens. And both Toby and Abby did great. I mean, Toby's been doing this great for years, but Abby, this is kind of a new skill she's been developing. Yes, it is. All right, guys, let's go let out the geese. Come on, Tobes, you gonna help me? You too, Abby. With that goofy looking chastity belt on. I think it might be a little saggy. I'm gonna have to readjust it. Let loose the goose! The hoop coop has been holding up pretty well. I've sort of stitched it back together. I've got this one spot that's a hole. A lot of people have suggested duct tape, and I've tried to use duct tape, but unfortunately, it's been getting so darn wet here, it's just not sticking. So we'll have to keep working on that. Come on, chickens, I got treats. Treats for the chickens. And Abby, if you want a treat, you can have a treat. Toby, you're welcome to have a treat too. Toby, you chilling out with that burger bun? Good for you, buddy. Let's let these chickens out. Come on, weird chickens. I'm checking out the Ginny Barn Cat Cam here. We might have a little bit of a failure on our hands. She does not seem happy wearing that harness at all. One of my goals is to never make the cats uncomfortable. This is clearly making the cat uncomfortable, so don't worry, Ginny. I'll take that off you in a minute as soon as I just check on the cattle here. How's it going, Jimi Hendrix? You've been full of energy. How's Belinda? You good? Yeah, looks like you guys might need a little more hay today. Ariel, where's that baby? I see you're all bagged up. Even the calves want to try to drink milk off of you at this point. Ugh, it's so muddy in there. I'll throw down some more straw today. It's been another downside of keeping the cattle in the barn like this. It just gets so muddy, it creates so many problems. How's it going, Audrey? You're looking good. Good to see you, girl. What you doing there, Jimmy? Trying out some hay? Yeah, both of our calves are growing up pretty good. Jimmy's got so much energy. Belinda's got a lot of energy. It's actually been really cool seeing the two of them hang out and play together. And also, yeah, learn how to be an adult cow by doing things like eating hay. It's gonna be that time of year where as soon as those calves are born, I'm gonna be putting the cattle back out on the pasture. I think they would like that. It's not that there's enough grass to graze. I'll still have to feed them hay, but it will give them an opportunity to just, I don't know, have some fresh space and not be cooped up here in the barn. But I don't want the calves to be born without access to the barn because we still could get a snowstorm at any moment. I'm watching. If we get to mid-May and my lady here is not giving birth, I'll probably have them out there so that they give birth on pasture, but for right now I'm just gonna still keep them in here. You can look at her udders, you can see they are clearly bagged up. I know I keep saying this at this point, but she is just about ready to go. She's still showing a healthy appetite. Yes you are, girl. Do you think she maybe has twins? Like, that could be kind of interesting if she has two babies. If she has twins and they are two female calves, that would be a good thing, and I'd actually end up keeping both calves here on the farm and having them be future breeders. And if she had two bull calves, that'd be fine too, and then they'd end up becoming steers, sort of like Kurt Cobain. If she has one female and one male, actually both of those animals would end up being raised for meat too, because the female would be known as a free martin, meaning she could never get pregnant because she was exposed to the testosterone with her brother inside the womb. And so that would be what we'd have to do there. Huh, where'd Abby go? Oh, looks like she's able to pee with it on. That's good. That's a good sign. Of course, she's trying to play with Ginny. I don't know, Ginny might not like the new cat cam. I can tell she clearly feels uncomfortable with it. Notice how she's like crouching like somebody's touching her? I think she's just not used to it. She's like commando crawling everywhere. So Abby, what's your review of the Pabs doggy chastity bell, huh? I mean, honestly, it's too soon to tell and too soon to review. She hasn't even gone into heat yet. I just actually got it on here today to try to figure out how to use it, which, as you can see, was definitely necessary. And then also just make sure it fit properly, which if I'm looking at it right now, I think it probably needs a little bit of an adjustment. But overall, it seems like it's gonna work pretty good. I'm definitely taking the belt and suspenders approach to preventing pregnancy here by separating her as well as having something like the Pabs. And speaking of anti-breeding systems, it doesn't look like those geese have anything like that going on. It's actually a female goose on top of another female goose. I think they're trying to establish dominance. You got the gander right next to them. Kind of interesting. But yes, sirree, it is just another beautiful day here on the farm. And things are looking good, and looking forward to tackling a couple small projects, as well as continuing to keep the wild birds away. Do you see those ducks flying off there? Those aren't my ducks. All in all, things are good. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll be back again real soon.